in the building. Her psychotic father used her as his own experiment. Boy, I don't know what Dr. Giraud things we about to see go on here, but let's hop into it.
So when the metal hit his mug, he just sunk in place. 100K holla, chillin' Bahamas. Come home to your crib and throw in your mama.
What is good, HollaSquad? We are the latest squad on the YouTube platform. Listen, today we are back with another reaction, and this is called Black Fox. All right, now any cap, you ain't let me down, bro. You like, well, there was only like one anti-cap video. I was like, this anime look a little mid. All right, but besides that, you've been on a streak. I think that was like 4 watches ago, like 4 anti-capped reactions ago. It was like, but ever since then, we've been on pace. So let's get it.
Begins when our main protagonist, called Rika, was training with her grandfather. They're playing a game like hide and seek with Grandpa as the hunter. Rika lets off a firebomb and Grandpa pretends to be hurt, tricking her and winning the game. He's training her because she is expected to take his place as the head of their ninja clan. However, Rika says that she wants to be like her father. Grandpa insists that she is meant to take his place at the head of the clan. However, Rika says no and runs away, telling him that he can't decide for her. Rika then goes to see her father, who is a genius researcher and scientist. He shows Rika his new genius invention, which are called animal drones. They're able to think for themselves, so they are not servants. But
come on, they said the CIA invented pigeons. That's all I'm saying.
But more like friends that will assist you. They are designed to always make the right decisions, so that they cannot be used for evil in case they are abused by bad people. They also help humans to make better decisions, and Rika quickly becomes obsessed with them. She tells her father that she wants to be just like him, but he explains that it's important for her to try and find her own path in life. He then picks up a photograph, and Rika asks who the other guys are in the picture, to which he explains that they are his former colleagues and friends from a long time ago. The days pass, and one of the guys who we saw from the picture, called Brad, approaches Rika's father, proposing that he should join him in his endeavors as he wants to use his inventions and research as weapons to gain power. However, Rika's father essentially tells him no because he is not that type of person, and his research and inventions are not to be used in lust for power. Brad mocks him for being so unambitious, and makes an evil smile which we all know cannot mean anything good. A few days go by, and Rika was on her way home very excited, because her father and grandfather had prepared a birthday present for her. But when she arrives home, she found blood everywhere. She then rushes to her father's laboratory and finds him badly wounded, and right away a gang of guys with weapons appear, which prompts the question from Rika, "Did you hurt my dad?" They say yes, and thank her for opening the door for them. But just when they're about to shoot, a smoke bomb goes off and the grandfather appears, swiftly taking some of the men out like a boss. However, the other man from the picture we saw earlier, called Lauren, also appears. We discover that he was always envious of Rika's father because his creations were recognized and respected, while his were not.
There's always a hater, chat. It's always. Like, create your own thing. Cause I got popping, that's fine. You know, so you ain't gotta hate though.
Lauren also reveals that he is using his own daughter as an experiment by creating some technology that modifies brain waves, granting powers to his daughter. But the problem is that while using it, she loses consciousness and it also hurts a lot. Lauren uses her to help the armed men kill Rika's grandpa, and eventually her father too. But just as they're about to kill Rika, one of her dad's animal drones saves her, and while flying away she recognizes Brad from the photo. The animal drone takes her to a statue where there is a secret passageway with a mini laboratory her father built. Inside there are masks that her grandfather used and other things that can be useful to her. So there she decides to sacrifice her whole life to get her epic revenge and recover the stolen data from her father's endeavors. For the next 6 months, Rika spends her time training and doing spy work for a detective office. She spends time with her AI companions and jumps over rooftops looking for her targets. She combined her father's technology with her grandfather's ninja training, so now she is truly ready for anything. She has clothes that can turn all black and wears a mask like her grandfather. She tests her grapple technology and manages to save a cat and return it to a rich lady. Rika is also going under a new name, Lily, so that her enemies can't track her identity. We discover that she now lives in a small apartment with her roommate called Melissa. In her spare time, she works as a detective trainee for Harold Berkeley, and with her animal drones, she finds more information.
He looked like Dr. Oak from that's his name from Pokemon.
About various cases as well as possible leads about the people who murdered her family. She has managed to find direct links to various crimes with the Gradscheim Company. After a long day of working on her investigations, Rika finally returns back home to her small apartment. Most of her days are spent on missions, so it's nice to return home and spend some time relaxing. When she arrives at her apartment, she is met by Lily, who is making dinner for them. Lily is very grateful that Rika pays for their rent, so she wants to help out any way possible.
Okay.
After dinner, Lily goes to sleep and Rika watches over her. After she goes to her room and starts to work on her suit. Rika constantly improves the optical illusion technology on the suit as it needs to perform perfectly. Her AI companions are always by her side as she prepares her equipment. Elsewhere in the murky streets of the city, a scared man is running with a briefcase. He is anxious and worried that someone is following him. On the rooftops, a mysterious figure tracks this man. Out of nowhere, a grapple comes flying down from and takes the man up onto the roof. Rika emerges from the shadows and interrogates the man about his business dealing, specifically about the criminal activity of the Gradsheim company. He doesn't want to divulge any information, but then Rika threatens to throw him from the roof. She wants to know who stole her dad's data on the animal drones and presses him to tell her where it is. She eventually scares the man into giving out the information and lets him fall to his death. The following day, Rika visits the Gradsheim company and takes some pictures of the building. Several security guards confront her, but she tells them that she works for a private inspector.
Why don't you spell it like that?
This is just a routine check. However, the security officers are having none of it, begin trying to detain Rika. She tries to fight them off with her blade, but her companion stops her as it would draw too much attention. On a nearby bench, a girl...
Because I know they make the right decision, but them helping you make the right that's crazy. See, bro... Would I want that in my life, though? All right. Would you want something that could tell you, don't make this decision? I guess your brain technically does that, but something outside of your own brain.
Girl with short white hair and glasses watches the situation unfold. She finally comes to the fence and tells the security guards that she invited Rika here and that they can let her go. She appears to be of a higher status as the security guards comply and Rika is set free. Rika expresses her gratitude to this girl and the girl introduces herself as Mia. It turns out that she is the daughter of Lauren, whom he conducted his experiments on and used her to help kill Rika's father. But Rika doesn't know, so she asks Mia to play chess. Mia is curious if Rika is actually a detective and offers Rika a job. Rika then admits that she is only an assistant, so she wouldn't be much help. The two girls spend hours just playing chess and getting to know each other. While Mia is very quiet, she seems comfortable spending time with Rika. The two girls connect with each other as both of them had their dads teach them how to play chess. Mia tells Rika that her father was the one who taught her how to play chess, but it was a very long time ago. The match ends as Mia wins and Rika is surprised as she rarely loses a game of chess. The girl spends another few hours playing chess and Mia laughs for the first time. Rika promises that she will train and get better, so the next time they play chess she will beat her. Suddenly Mia grows cold and tells her that she should not come back here as it is dangerous. Mia thanks Rika as this is the most fun she has had in a long time, and Mia returns back inside the mysterious research facility. Mia doesn't want to be an experiment anymore, but her father manipulates and forces her to. Mia tells her father that when the collar is on her she doesn't feel in control and she is scared. Lauren ignores his daughter's fears and just tells her that she must do this to help with his research. Lauren's only goal is to prove to Brad that he is better than Rika's father and a genius. Lauren tells her that he just needs a little more data and because of her potential she must comply. He then proceeds to put a giant helmet on Mia's head and begins his experiments, causing Mia a lot of pain, but Lauren just ignores it like it's nothing. Meanwhile, it seems that Rika has decided to infiltrate the research facility. She finds all of the research that they stole from her father. Rika activates her ninja suit and puts on her mask. She jumps over the facility fence along with her AI helpers, so she is confident in accomplishing her mission.
She
manages to infiltrate the compound where she sneaks past the security and ends up in a giant room where there are major projects that are being developed. She sees a giant robotic
They got Zoids? Boy, ain't no way.
dog with many weapons on it. And Rika concludes that they have been using her father's research to create world-destructive weapons, with the motive most likely being for power or money. Rika has a plan to place explosions in the facility and blow it up. But out of nowhere she is attacked by a masked Mia who is now brainwashed under Lauren's control. Any attack that Rika throws at Mia is countered with her telekinetic powers and force. While fighting, Rika's mask falls off, and Mia immediately stops her attack as she notices who it is. Just then her father comes in and Rika becomes enraged, charging at him with a katana. She deploys a smoke bomb and goes invisible, but at the last second Mia uses her powers to push Rika back. Rika then switches targets to Mia, but just when she is about to kill her, she recognizes her. However, she thinks about her father and grandpa, so she attempts to go through with it anyway. But at the last second the animal drone stops her, as it doesn't want Rika to become a murderer. Lauren then starts electrocuting Mia using a device connected to the collar around her neck, making her feel immense pain until she ends up losing control and destroys the entire facility, allowing Rika and her friends to find an escape route. Rika barely managed to get out.
So the pets draw the line. I could give her the Minka Monka 5,000, all right? But as soon as I try to put this blade through her chest, that's the line. All right, you could beat her to death, beat her almost to death. Can't kill her though. Come on now, what we doing?
Out and even carried Mia out of the blast. They hiding in the sewer and Rika is still tempted to kill Mia, even putting her sword to her throat while she is resting. But her drones try to convince to stop once again, telling her that even though they killed her father, no one can kill what he taught her, which was to forgive. Rika then remembers the time her father talked with her when she mistreated one of the drones. He explained that the animal drones are just like humans and they have their own thoughts and goals. Rika then stops herself from killing Mia and decides to take her back to her apartment. Elsewhere, Lauren has managed to escape the blast too and is carrying a laptop with him.
Now we gotta track him down,
totally
finish
lost
him.
his mind and wants to find his daughter. Rika brings Mia back to her apartment where she is letting her rest. Melissa is also there and tends to Mia's wounds. Rika apologizes for worrying Melissa and bringing this person in their apartment. However, Melissa totally understands that Rika gets into trouble because she is a detective. Rika then goes to her assistant detective job and asks Melissa to take care of Mia until she recovers.
Mia gonna
Rika
break
sits
out,
on the
bruh.
steps and she cries once more. One of her animal drones is by her side and tells her that he will protect Melissa and they will eventually find Lauren. Rika expresses shame as she was unable to kill Mia, so she probably won't be able to kill Lauren. Rika thinks that her grandfather would be ashamed of her. The drone tells her that Mia was not in control of her actions and she should have been saved, not killed, so Rika did the right thing. Meanwhile, Mia has strange
Sound like
dreams of her
Spider-Man.
childhood. She is a small child and playing some sort of game with her father. In the past, Mia complained that nobody believed she had powers. Her father then picks her up and promises to spend his life proving just how special she is, revealing that he was actually a kind and loving father at one point in time. However, Lauren then started to experiment on Mia but convinced her that he's doing all of this because he loves her. Mia then wakes up and Melissa is by her side. She introduces herself to Mia
That's a
and it
sick
is then that
name.
Mia realizes that Rika told her a fake name. When Melissa touches Mia's hand, she notices how cold Melissa is. Mia finally gets up out of bed and sees vegetables all around the kitchen. Melissa tries to cook for Mia but hurts herself in the process. Mia tends to her hand and they prepare the dinner table. Rika returns home and she sees that Mia has started to recover. Rika still resents her and is especially rude. Melissa serves up dinner and watches closely while Mia eats.
gotta let that-
Mia is
that
shocked
hurt
how
go.
tasty the food really is. Later in the night, Mia goes on the roof to get some fresh air, where she is met by Rika, who is still upset for what happened to her family. Mia tries to show some gratitude, but Rika doesn't want to hear it. After a while, Mia decides to leave, but Rika asks if there was a case Mia really needed help with. Mia then reveals that she just wanted someone to stop her father. However, she still can't help but have love for him and hope for him to change. Mia calls her father to tell him they should turn themselves into the police. He pretends to agree with her so that she tells him
This man is a devious dad, bruh. Listen, L Father of the Year, bruh. It's between him and T.I., all right? Because y'all, listen, look up T.I.'s son haircut, bruh. If his son starts to do things out of character, I don't blame him, bruh. I ain't gonna lie.
him where she is, and Mia falls for his lies once again. It only matters to Lauren that his research stays unknown, and makes it clear with his despicable actions that he doesn't care about his daughter, as long as he can use her to benefit his work. After a while, one of the robots that were created with the data of Rika's father appear. Rika manages to evade it and evacuate the residence. Meanwhile, Mia is devastated that her father betrayed her once again. The robot stops moving, so Rika tends to Mia to comfort her, and tells her to get it together as she needs her help. The machine begins moving again, so Rika decides to take it away from civilization where civilians won't get hurt, and Mia teams up with her. The two
Okay.
of them fly to the Rika's old home,
Teamwork
where they
make
both
the
fight
dream
the
work,
killing
type
machine
beat.
together and end up destroying it. A few moments later, there is a huge explosion out of nowhere, and we come to find out that Mia's father decided to modify his brain waves. So now he also has powers. Lauren tells Mia to stand aside so he can finish off Rika. Mia asks if he ever cared about her, to which he responds, "Of course, you were my only successful test result." Mia realizes
What?
he is too far gone and they start to battle it out. Meanwhile, Rick
Not your daughter, you know, your offspring, your heir to your throne, but come on, bruh.
discovers the
Back that
present that
man
her
up.
father and her grandfather had prepared for her, which turns out to be an epic suit. She puts it on and goes to help Mia, who is having a hard time dealing with her father. Rika saves her just in time, and embraces herself as the 27th head of Ninja Clan. She used to think that she had to
Okay.
pick between her father and grandpa's paths, but now she realizes she can honor both, which gives her an enormous amount of confidence and strength. Lauren loses his mind as somehow Rika's family always outsmarts him, and they both battle it out one last time. Rika ends up kicking his ass, and just when it looked like she is about to finish him off, he begs for Mia's forgiveness and says he's sorry for everything, which makes her come close to him as she believed he was being sincere. However, it turned out to be another one of his tricks, as he puts the collar around Mia's neck and orders her to destroy Rika and her family's existence.
That's why he had to die, bro. That's why he had to die.
Rika does everything she can to save Mia.
Bro, like, how hypnotized by hatred do you have to be to do that? All right, you upset? Oh dang, her family outsmarted me, so I gotta reuse my daughter to kill her. Come on, like.
Yeah, and after an awesome display of action, she is successful. Days later, Brad, who was the other guy who betrayed Rika's father, began to speak in front of all the citizens, and reveals that his company is going to cover all damages to the people of the city. And now that he is mayor, he will reform the city and make it a better place. But we all know that won't happen, as he's a self-serving maniac. We then see Rika, Mia, and Melissa standing on a building opposite where Brad is staying. They jump off the roof badass style, implying they are going to end it once and for all. And this brings the anime to an end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you...
Alright, listen. This was tough. Alright? L Dad of the Year. This needs to be played on Father's Day as an example of what you should never be as a dad, bro. That man Lauren gotta listen. There's wards for people like him. All right, my man turned his daughter. His daughter had one wish: show me I got superpowers. He said, "Oh, really? Okay. All right. I'm about to turn you into a test subject, a lab rat, just so I could prove that I'm better than old girl's dad." Listen, y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. If you feel like your parents out here doing this, let the HollaSquad know. We gonna pull up, we jumping them, no cap. All right, but we need valid proof and evidence. All right, before we do that, cause you know what I'm saying. What if we get caught? We go, you know what I'm saying. We don't want that to happen. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Who said we ain't bout it? Test the gang and you'll get touched. She ride it Kawasaki, roll my blunts and keep it quiet. Money is the most.